last time? Or?
Nope, didn't have a light.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just make sure it's recording. That would be too short. That's good.
So you edit all this, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, start off with a welcome back.
No, you're not really a welcome back. Just another video. Like just. Well, I can start off by talking about like just something like. Start off by talking about Apple TV because we can make it like because I can make a YouTube video that's like.
How about I just say start off? Okay, first off, I wanted to mention Apple TV.
Yeah, sure.
All right, there we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, first off, I want to talk about Apple TV. Could there be any possible worst, or could there be any worse broadcasting of football other than Apple TV? I mean, the commentators are extremely biased. They have no idea what they're talking about. There's so many errors. I mean, come on, Apple TV, get your head out of your ass and at least put some commentators in there that have some knowledge of our team. I mean, bring back, I don't mind Apple TV with its extra content and the ability to view games. I don't mind all that. That's the technology based, right? But let's face it, when we're watching it on TSN, the game is much better. So Apple TV, you are horrible. You're shit. You need to be better.
Well, that's coming from Canadians. Obviously, I feel like the Americans don't really have an issue with it, but it's just, yeah, sometimes it's just funny. It's easy to make jokes at Apple TV because of some of the stuff that they say and how they kind of just get a lot of names wrong and a lot of the broadcasting wrong. But look, they're new and they'll hopefully work on it to bring some home back to Toronto FC.
Well, this is 4 games, and they finally got the starting 11 right. At least players on the bench. They were naming players that didn't even belong weren't even on the team anymore. And a coach that didn't even belong here. They were still announcing Herdman as the coach. But those commentators, I mean, bar none, they're horrible. It's getting to the point where I have to put the game on mute. But anyways, they need to be better. It's frustrating. I think you can feel the same frustration too.
Yeah. Then we can just cut that.
Yeah, cut that.
Okay, then we're just post game analysis. So I'll start by saying post game analysis.
How about just during the game? Let's talk the guy in the game. Period.
Yeah, just talk about the game.
Oh yeah. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just to start I would just start with saying that's what I meant post game analysis, talking about the game.
All right, so I'll start. Right.
Okay, well sure.
How about this? All right. So what do you think about the game?
Okay. Not bad. I don't know what else do we expect, right? I mean, we're playing the first team in the West, getting a draw at home, first shutout of the season. That's good for a lot of stats. There's definitely a lot of positives, but there's definitely a lot of needs improvement still with that game.
Yeah. We do some passive stat reviews. We don't have, there's no spreadsheets here.
Nothing.
I mean, I got my phone here. There's going to be a few things I'm going to want to look up at a later time, but no actual stats or spreadsheets. This is off the cuff. This is uncensored. But during the game on Saturday, we were talking about some stats, and TFC, what was the winning home percent, our winning record?
Yeah. TFC is one of the, is the biggest gap in MLS in terms of home percentage wins and away percentage wins. Not just this season, obviously. I'm pretty sure it's over a long period of time. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's really true. When you go to BMO Field, you expect your team to win. You really feel the difference in the game watching TFC at home and then watching them away. It's a completely different game.
Sorry, but to reiterate that, the visiting team knows they're coming to a fortress and they know they are going to lose it. We're going to win at home, and the numbers show it. However, when we're on the road,
on the road, we don't look as strong. We're always chasing the game. But that being said, last 2 games, Chicago and Vancouver at home, I didn't really feel that sense of Toronto FC being the dominant team. I mean, in my opinion, against Chicago, I think they had a much better the game. I think they really dominated us. Vancouver's a different story. It was a pretty choppy game, and I'd say it's pretty even, but we're starting to get that feel back, that home environment back.
But I want to talk about the home environment there, right? I want to talk about the home environment, what it means to be a fortress. I mean, I get it. There's some fair weather fans out there, and it wasn't the nicest weather, but let's face it, a lot of it's covered, right? But home opener, I was pleasantly surprised to see how many how many supporters there were. I mean, I don't think there was an empty seat. But last game, what was that, Red Patch Boys? Where were you? There was a lot of you missing. I mean, or at least a lot of supporters in that zone. I mean, so if we're on the pitch, you know, to the left of the net, that whole wing there was a massive gap there. I mean, you were there for the home opener. You weren't there for the game or the second game. But, you know, I understand. You know, we support the team in many ways, but we're not going to support this mediocrity. And I get that. And one of the ways that we're going to show our frustration is to not show up at the game. Yeah, I get that.
I mean, in my opinion, I feel like the hardcore TFC fans, they're like us. We're going to the games regardless. It's just your average Joe in Toronto or the GTA. Hey, want to go catch a TFC game? Like when the team's winning and you know they're going to win at home, like it's been for many years. It's a great experience. You want to go, but everybody knows now with the publicity of this MLSE banner that's being put on the highway. Everybody knows it's a shit show and doesn't want to waste their money on something like that. Yeah. So it does show in the attendance.
I mean, let's face it. Or let's face it. I mean, not showing up to the game, I understand that sends a message, right? But they already have your money. They already have your season seat ticket money, right? So I don't know. I guess maybe showing up to the game and voicing your opinion, like booing them off the pitch. I remember one of the last games of the season before the bloody big deal. I can't remember if it was maybe 7,000 fans that showed up, maybe. And fans were disgruntled and things were getting thrown onto the pitch. And it was right then and there where, you know, they turned it around. So anyways, I know there's a lot of casual fans out there, but we need to we need to win. We need to win, bring the fans back. And MLSE, if any one of you are watching this, I mean, fans are fed up. The banner was up. You read that banner. You know it's time, and we need a winner.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, back to the atmosphere, I think at the end of the game against Vancouver, the last, 15 minutes, that was the only time period of the game where fans actually got excited and the game started to hype up a bit. But what was funny was it was just this little corner on the southeast end of the stadium. The rest of the stadium was completely empty. Everybody had already left to catch a train. Like, it's those little things that really speak to you about the environment and the type of support that this team is getting. But you can't just ask fans to come to the game. You have to earn their respect and you have to earn their loyalty.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, the fan or the team has to earn our loyalty and our respect. It was just, I got to be honest, you know, it was only the second game of the season. I was a little disappointed to see how many empty seats there were in the supporters section. But you know, but like you said, that last 15 minutes, that was some exciting football. It kind of goes to show you that, you know, when we can turn up the heat when we need to. And is this a sign of things to come? Is this, you know, are we going to start slowly getting better? Are we showing our tenacity? Are we showing our best starting 11?
I mean, I definitely feel like that it is a bit, because it has to come naturally. If you we're 5 games in?
Yeah.
Or is it 5 or 6?
See, that's where the stats.
I think it's 6. Sorry, 6
phone,
games, right? We're 6 games without a win. But yeah, so when you're playing 6 games, you've already gone into the season 6 games. Regardless of preseason, you're gonna start looking a little more like a team naturally. Like, regardless of, oh yeah, we're suddenly feeling better. It's natural. Every team starts to get in the groove around this time. We're getting in the thick of the season. Next few weeks, we're gonna have a lot of games. We're gonna have some midweek games, Canadian Championship games. It's gonna be a hefty schedule. So it's within this stretch. If we can really pull through and actually start to get results with these lots of games coming up, then yeah, that'll be the tell. It's either we hit it these next few weeks or we're off. So
it was our 6th game. That was our 6th game. So how many points now? 2 points?
2 points in 6 games. It's, well, obviously, yeah, it's not good. And again, TFC, they're making their own excuses again, although they had this plethora of time and preseason and all these resources that they applied to the team or didn't apply to the team. But yeah, I mean, Sure, we're improving.
So what are your thoughts on Frazier, with his did he put the best starting 11 out there? Did he put the players in the best position possible?
Yeah, I think he put the. This is what I think. I think Frazier. Forget best. I think he puts the right starting 11 out there. Like you have no right benching Kerr after he just scores you 2 goals when wrongfully being not subbed in or not starting or stuff like that. Etienne as well. Like he didn't perform the greatest, but look, the guy showed that he really wanted to produce in that game against Red Bulls. He really tried, and he got that assist, and he almost scored a nice goal. I mean, yeah, I think in my opinion he put the right lineup out there, but there were certain guys in that lineup that showed that they don't earn that spot anymore.
Yeah.
Guys like, I mean, besides injuries, I would say I know Wingo came off injured and Kerr came off injured, but funny enough, those 2 players I would have removed from that starting 11 after that game, regardless of their injuries.
Yeah, what I did notice is like what you said with Kerr. You know, he earned that spot, right? He earned that spot, and I think the organization has been very clear that DeAndre Kerr is our second striker. He's our bench striker, but and that's who he is right now. But he earned that starting role for that last game. But I did notice Ula was warming up because Ula was going to go in about that 60th minute mark. He wasn't going to play the last 30 minutes, 20 minutes. He was going in at the 6th, and I gotta respect Robertson for getting Ula in there.
Frazier.
What'd I say?
Robinson.
I said Robin.
Robinson.
Robin Frazier. Anyways, right? This guy over here. Sorry, I was gonna do a little Don Cherry there for you, but yeah, I noticed Ula was getting ready to warm up, and that was unfortunately, Kerr took that nasty ankle roll, and I mean, but
yeah.
On Kerr, I think it's safe to say he's going to be out for
apparently he left the stadium in crutches, so there's definitely at least 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Well, and soft tissue.
Yeah. But in 3 weeks, how many games do we have? We have he's going to miss a good handful of games. He's going to miss maybe 6 games.
Yeah. So there goes our second striker. So maybe Etienne fills in for that second striker role.
Yeah.
But
in my opinion, I don't think we should need it. Ula better prove himself, and if we have a striker that can play 90 minutes, he's young, he's fit, he's besides his stupid little injuries that he's had, if he gets game fit, I want to see him playing every single minute of the next few games. Bernadeschi has, Insigne has. Bernadeschi and Insigne are yet to miss minutes besides when Insigne has been left out of the squad. So if these old guys can do it, Ula better be able to do it as well.
Yeah, I think Ula, he showed some fly, and he when he came in, he started changing the game. Now, you said the name, Insigne. We got another full match.
Yeah.
We got another 98 minutes out of the person who didn't fit the squad, a person who can maybe play 70 minutes, a person who is insignificant,
A person who gets injured all the time.
Yeah, he still played. Now, so let's comment on the Insigne thing, because I know this is always a bone of contention for us fans. Okay. Again, you look down that bench, you look at your roster chart. There's no way in hell he doesn't play. Okay, he's still a highly skilled player, and he makes a lot of significant passes. Now, and this is not biased. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. I think he played an average game. Right now, paying that much money for an average game, I agree. I agree when the fans say we want him out because we want a better bang for our buck. I agree with that, right? But until the team buys him out, we have him. And I think, if we can, what can we do? We have we finally now, after all these years, have a real number 9. At least I hope Ula is going to be a real number 9. And then, maybe some midfield help with Maxime Dominguez.
Maxime Dominguez, yeah.
So, can this guy be a player that can help link up? I mean, are we going to start seeing some creativity? I think we can. Now, I want to just talk about Insigne's play for a second, okay?
Sure.
Insigne and Bernardeschi, they play opposite each other, opposite sides, two completely different styles. Bernardeschi, he's going to take the ball and he's going to bomb it down the pitch. He's going to take it from 18-yard box to 18-yard box. That's his game, okay? We know that. That's his game. Insigne wants to have about 15 to 20 touches before he passes half. That's his game, okay? We know this is his game. Look at his game reels. Look at his time in the international squad. Look at his time in Napoli. That's his game. But when he gets the ball, he looks around. He's got no one to pass to. He's not perfect. Nobody is. But he's got no one to pass to. So, and I've been saying this from day one. Surround him with some good players. Well, then the argument is when you're a DP, you shouldn't need all these supporting cast, right? Well, he's the type of player that needs a bit more of a supporting cast, or at least somebody other than a bunch of TFC2 players, which this team has been filled with the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, I see the main problem as Bill Manning didn't understand what he was buying. He doesn't have the soccer mind to realize the type of player he bought. He's buying a 5'4" Italian, trying to recreate another Giovenco, and we see the fans want it. The fans want another Giovenco. Insigne is not Giovenco. He will not be Giovenco, and he will never become Giovenco.
Look, Giovenco is a god amongst men, okay? He's a god. He is the absolute best player that Major League Soccer has ever seen, okay? To this day, nobody has ever
done more than him in the MLS.
Exactly, right? So, I mean, if that's the standard of the players we have to get, if that's the bar, fans, we're not going to reach that bar. We're never going to get someone like Giovenco. And if we do, then lightning strikes twice for us, okay? We were very fortunate and very lucky to have the player like Giovenco, and then to be surrounded by, players like Vasquez and Bradley and Altidore and Betashore, Morrow, and Mavinga, Drew Moore, great players, right? We had obviously we won the treble. We had a great years under Giovenco or with Giovenco, but we got to stop making the comparison. And like you said, Manning thought, well, there's another Italian player. Obviously, he's going to be as good as Giovenco. Completely different style player. He's a perimeter player, right? And both Berna and Insigne are perimeter players.
Yeah. And we're not trying to say that just because he's a different player, we should still pay him all this money and compensate him with other players. No, as an MLS team, we need to have a system and then buy players that fit the system, or buy impact or designated players. Unfortunately, Insigne is not that guy. It wasn't a good purchase, and he will never become that guy that the fans expect. But then it comes down to play him or not play him, right? Forget the money you're paying. It's either you're going to play Insigne or you're going to start Matty Longstaff or Marcus Simmermancic. If you can tell me that any of those players is better 100% all the time than Lorenzo Insigne, then you're just wrong. So for the time being, you're gonna play him. You're not going to get the best out of him. He's going to play like probably an average MLS player that's got a different style of play. But until you buy him out and buy a new impactful DP, that's the difference, and that's going to be the change in the team that's needed to win, right? So that's the change. It's not, and you can't change Insigne. Insigne is Insigne and will play. You have to change that player. Get him out, get a new player in. That's when you see changes. If everyone stops talking about Insigne and starts talking about the government, not the government, whatever. I'll cut the fuck shit up. Whatever.
MLSC?
Yeah.
Don't keep going.
No, I just.
Well, look, with Insigne, okay? With Insigne, when you want to win games, he's on the pitch, okay? He's not a liability out there when he's playing. He's an offensive player. Is he going to track back and defend? No, he's not. But I did notice, they had him as a high press with the other number 9, right? And that's his game. He's not going to be the person tracking back, slide tackling. That's not his game. And when Herdman asked him to do that, that's when Insigne was getting injured. He was running all the way back, box to box, pulling hamstrings, snapping calves, or whatever the hell he was doing. That's not his game, right? So, Robin Fraser, give him a little credit, you know. Oh, wow, you are using Insigne properly. I thought he didn't fit the system, right? So, I think by now, and I've said this before, you know, not fitting the system was a bunch of bullshit. That's MLSE trying to punish Insigne, not making him play. But if you're up a goal and you want to shut it down, or you're up 2 goals and you want defensive players, absolutely take Insigne off.
Yeah.
You know, Burnham can show that he's a horse. He can play all game and he can defend. But I mean, I think it's no surprise that Insigne played the last 2 games when we needed to win. He played the entire game.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Let's steer away from Insigne.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about the team based off that game and previous games, just from back to front. So let's start with Johnson. So Sean Johnson against Vancouver earned man of the match, got his first clean sheet, looked a lot like 2024 Sean Johnson last year under Herdman, saved our ass many times, and he saved our ass today. He had a few really good saves, few heroic saves that basically saved us that game and saved some pride for the team.
I think Sean Johnson, as much as we want to give him so much credit right now, I don't think we can give him. He needs so much more credit. Like, he is saving us from embarrassment, from absolute embarrassment. He's making saves he's got no business making, and he's a leader out there. He's a team player. I mean, Sean Johnson, what a beauty. That guy, you know, bar none, he is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
He's playing great. And you know what? He's always been very consistent. He's always been very consistent with the team. You know, everybody's got ups and downs, right? But wow, is he ever doing amazing right now?
I mean, I've actually got a question for you. Do you think so? Sean Johnson, we've already established that he's a fantastic player, one of our most important players on this team. In my opinion, our MVP from last season. Was he one of the best